Hello, I am Mr. Orange and this is video hashtag 470. And in this video, I will be reviewing Winx Club Season 3, Episode 12. AKA is the episode where Flora gets her Enchantix. But before we get into this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. The first thing I will have to state is that I do like the theme song of Nickelodeon for the first 3 seasons. I think the theme song is really pretty. I like to listen to it. In the last episode, the Winx find out that Farragonda has turned into a tree. In this episode, Lucy eavesdrops on the pixies and finds out the truth. She then goes off to inform Valtor. Meanwhile in Cloud Tower, Valtor gives Stormy boost of electric powers. I find it interesting that Valtor is playing favorites with the tricks. And in this episode, he's doing this with Stormy. I think this is a master manipulative tactic. I think this is a way for the tricks to perform better. From the Winx perspective, this is a Flora episode, but from a tricks perspective, this is also a Stormy episode. And I do find that interesting. I don't know about you, but sometimes I associate the two Winx girls with their tricks. First of all, I associate Icy with Bloom and Stella. I mean, that's kind of obvious, especially for season 1, where Icy was after Stella's ring and had a brawl with Bloom. And Bloom and Icy are total opposites. I associate Darcy with Musa and Layla. Well, mostly Musa. We all know about Darcy stealing Musa's man. And Musa and Layla are best friends, so that's that. And I associate Stormy with Techna and Flora. Well, Stormy and Techna both have electricity powers, so that's that. And for Flora, first of all, they both wear a shade of pink. Well, Stormy wears more of a magenta pink. Not only that, but also, Stormy deals with weather, which is force of nature. So I do find it interesting that this episode is a Flora and a Stormy episode. And in general, I think Flora and Stormy are the most opposite with each other. Flora likes things peaceful and Stormy likes things chaotic. So that's that. So after hearing the news from Lucy, Valtor sends the tricks to fight off the Winx. In the next scene, the Winx finally arrive at Lymphia. This is actually the first time we ever seen Lymphia, and it's incredibly beautiful. But as beautiful Lymphia is, I personally would hate to live here. Think about all the allergies, poison ivy, and dangerous animals, especially bugs. We then get to see Flora'S sister. She actually has 3 names. In the Focus dub, she is called Rose. In the Ray dub, she is called Miele. And in the Nickelodeon dub is Millie. So Rose, Miele, Millie is incredibly cute. I love her little flower crown and her yellow dress. In the next scene, Flora mentions that technology is forbidden in the City of Trees. That's another reason why I wouldn't live in Lymphia. As a YouTuber, my work is dependent on technology. So if I lived in Lymphia, you wouldn't have this YouTube channel the same way. In the next scene, the girls go off to the City of Trees using a magic air leaf. The air travel is very interesting in Lymphia. According to Flora, the winds are so strong that it will be impossible to fly in. I love this lore about Lymphia, it makes it so fascinating. You can tell the writers really love Lymphia. Meanwhile, Stormy summons some storm harpies to go after the Winx. If you know me in this channel, I'm a total geek when it comes to mythologies. And I love that Stormy summoned the harpies. My geeky side is pleased with this. In the next scene, the Storm Harpies goes off to attack the Winx. So the Winx transform to defend themselves. I like that in this episode and the previous episode, 3 of them have magic Winx and 3 of them have Enchantix. I find it interesting. The comparison is like night and day. I do believe that both magic Winx and Enchantix are both beautiful, but you can totally see the evolution with these transformations. I just love seeing how beautiful Enchantix is and how powerful the wings are when fighting the harpies, and how strong the wings are when they're flying in the storm. Enchantix is truly remarkable. You can see why Enchantix is the fan favorite transformation. And they finished the fight with a stylish landing. This is truly the Enchantix squad. In the next scene, the Winx finally meet the Sage of Lymphia. I find the Sage of Lymphia pretty interesting. She reminds me of a deity or a statue of one, specifically Hindu deities. The Sage of Lymphia tells the Winx a story about the Black Willow. The story is so fascinating and intriguing. So the Black Willow had a sister and it died from a forest fire. So the willow fled towards the waterfall where it cried for its sister. The tears from the black willow makes the water flow backwards. And with the water, you can reverse back time. So the Winx need this water to free back Faragonda. As interesting as this is, they never explain why they could never use fairy dust to free Faragonda. I find the story really interesting. It adds lore to Lymphia. I think Unicorn of War stated this, so the story of the Willow and its sister is kind of like Flora and Miele. So basically they're like parallel to each other. Unicorn of War also theorized that the ancestral witches could have caused the fire. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. It looks like it's something that they would do. So the Winx set off to head towards the waterfall. Miele attempts to join in. However, Flora puts her foot down and tells her not to come with them. It is too dangerous for a little kid like Miele. So Flora sends her off with the ladybug. It's so cute seeing Miele flying with the ladybug. So then the Winx use a floral bridge to get to the waterfall. I love how Flora just casually runs across the bridge. It did look funny seeing her do that. Out of context, you'd think Flora is high. In the next scene, we see the Tricks fighting over Voltor. And then they come to their senses to work together. I do think it's such a shame that this is how the Tricks are now. Like in season 1 and even season 2, they held their own, even with Lodaka. But in here, they act like pick-me's. Honestly, if I had to redo season 3, I would not include Tricks here. Honestly, in my opinion, they should have stuck in season 1 and never come back, because their reputation has been diminished. Like, they were inspiring girl bosses, they didn't need a mantle. The Winx finally arrive at the cave of the Black Willow. Disobeying what Flora said, Miele finally arrives at the waterfall as well. She wanted to help out the Winx. So the Winx try to find a way to collect the water without touching the water with their bare hands. And if they touch the water, it might make them turn into a kid again. And then Stella does a clever thing by turning a rock into a goblet to collect the water. I love it when Stella is doing something smart. She's not just a blonde bimbo. But I'm thinking about this now. So since the water can turn back time, if Stella collects the water with her goblet, wouldn't the goblet turn back to a rock? Maybe I'm overthinking this. But I'm gonna give this one to Stella. She did something smart. The Tricks then come to ambush them. And I think we come to the one of the worst fights in Winx Club. I've seen Unicorn of Ward made a video on this, and I have to agree, this is kind of a terrible fight. First of all, where was Tekna and Layla in this fight? I think we see glimpses of Tekna, but what the hell? Like, why is it just Misa, Bloom, and Flora? And I get why Stella isn't in this fight because she's collecting the water. At this point, the Winx should be able to defeat the Tricks, especially Layla and Misa with the Enchantix. I just think this fight is lazily done. So after defeating the Winx, Darcy pollutes the water. It makes the water go brown. The next scene is one of the craziest scenes of them all. After Darcy tried to kill the Willow, Flora wasn't having it. So Flora tried to get physical with Darcy. I love feisty Flora, don't mess with her. But then Icy and Stormy blast Flora away. And as they were about to finish Flora off, they misfire at Melee and she flies towards the river. But seeing her poor sister demise, Flora rages and seeks revenge at the Tricks. She creates a Venus Gobbler to trap the Tricks. Like I said before, I love feisty Flora. We should have her more. I especially like the focus version of this scene because Flora says that was my sister. And I think that's more of a powerful line than the other lines. I also like hearing how angry the focus Flora gets. So after trapping the Tricks, Flora goes into the river to get Melee. I think she sends a bubble to carry Melee to safety. But by doing so, Flora drowns in the river. So that's a lot of things going on just for a hot minute. And really, Flora is a kick-ass. And after saving her sister, Flora earns her Enchantix. She truly deserves it. I've got to say though, Flora has the prettiest Enchantix outfit. I love the pinks and the greens in her outfit. Also, the top part of her dress reminds me of the polysexual flag. She's incredibly beautiful. Flora then rises from the dead and she uses her fairy dust to heal the willow. So after the tree gets healed, it drops the Tricks in the water, and as they get out, they come out as children. This makes me wonder why Flora or Melee didn't change, because they fell in the water as well. I think that's a plot hole. But regardless, the Tricks look so cute as children. First of all, Icy looks really pretty, and also quite stylish out of the three. I also love her outfit and her hair. She knew her style back then. And you know what? This is what Icy would have looked like if she was a kid, not whatever we got in season 8. Darcy looks like a mini librarian. I love her golden glasses. And Stormy looks like a poodle. So at the end of the episode, Faragonda is freed from being a tree, and they all live happily ever after. But that's not the total ending though. That's because within the trees, a mysterious boy named Naboo is stalking Layla. Not gonna lie, that is creepy. But I'm also excited, because it's one of my 3 favorite boys. I will say this, I will consider Timmy, Brandon and Naboo to be my golden boys. Just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, that's it for this video. I think in the next week's video, I'll probably do a video about Techno Enchantix. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe and have a lovely day.